remember we had that for our TV. I was like that. I think it was the Chromecast built in. It'd like cycle through different photos and stuff like that. We could do some cool stuff.
And you could personalize it if you wanted to, which is really cool. So just have Sean's collection of wallpapers scrolling.
Yeah.
Or you could have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You do have a hell of a collection of wallpapers.
I have like over 2,000 or something like that. I stopped adding to it, really.
It
was as a kid, I always like, I'm going to get a new wallpaper pack. But now I'm like, whatever. I have enough, and it's all my tastes. Occasionally, I'll down if I see like, ooh, that's a cool picture, I'll download that.
Yeah,
but
some good fan art.
It's nowhere near the time I dedicated to it before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, you want to intro us?
I'll intro us when I'm ready to intro us, Michael.
Take your time. Take your time.
Hey, you're the one who said that you're on a time crunch today.
I am, and I'm not.
Well,
wait, are you on a time crunch, Sean?
Not really.
Okay.
I want to do an oil change.
I'm not really. I just want to get it done earlier in the day so I could do more stuff. Might do some Japanese stuff. Might do some.
Because of that, let's get to it. Welcome to the 19th episode of Almost a Podcast.
19.
Wow.
This is Sean, and today I have Michael and Colton, and no guest. We've had a really guest-heavy last couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row with a guest.
And then
we're getting popular. Everyone wants to come on.
I had no expectation we would have this many guests this early in the podcast.
Me neither. Yeah, it's been good. I like guests. Guests are fun.
Yeah.
We welcome them always.
Yeah, it adds a change to that dynamic. It's fun.
Yeah, I know. I definitely like it. I just was not expecting it. It's like this whole, I'm glad that people are having fun and that we like to have people on and they have fun talking with us. Because like that's one of the things I miss most from college is like I had the ability to just walk over to anybody's place and talk for a bit or hang out. Or I was always talking to people at dinner.
Yeah.
I don't have that, especially and now that I'm in a new city. It's like.
Yeah,
it's a lot less.
And especially now during the everything that's been going on the past couple of years. You're totally right. It's fun. I went to the bar for like the first time in a while recently, and it was like it just feels right. And it was like it's the perfect college level bar, right? It's like kind of grungy, like it's like I don't know if I'd lick the plates, but you know exactly what I'm talking about, right?
But you drink from the glasses,
yeah, and it's like not super pricey, but it was like it felt, I don't know, there's something homey about it in a lot of ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
It reminded
me
really
like
cool.
This is where I belong. These are my people.
I'm still meeting new people, but it was fun.
Yeah, I've been discovering new areas around where I live too, and it's like. Because I'm about to leave, and I'm like, oh shoot, there's all this cool stuff over here now that I haven't even realized. And I'm like, we were like, oh, this all these new bars, new restaurants. So now it's a goal to explore all of that area before we leave our current area.
Do it.
I was like wandering around because I had to go into downtown for my city recently or this weekend.
Yep.
And I was going to the store I was going to, and then like on the way, there was this like food place, and this is like in an alley. I was like kind of walking down an alley, really weird. And then to the left, there's like this taco shop. And I'm like, what is this taco shop doing here? So I'm like, look at my non-existent watch and go, it's lunchtime. Mm-hmm. So I walk into the taco
the sun's
place.
about noon.
Judging by the sun and the moon. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I look at my wrist all the time to check the time.
Without a watch?
And there's no watch there.
Really?
I have noticed that.
Somebody goes, what's the time? And I look at my watch and go, oh, it's about 1:30.
Yeah, you gotta be so careful, because if you did that like at work or something when someone doesn't know you, they're like, what is he doing?
No, I still do. It's like such a weird habit.
That is an interesting habit.
Did you used to wear watches?
Like I
used
to wear a watch in high school all the time, but like I just stopped for some reason. I think my watch ran out of battery, and I was like, well, it's over.
Dead. It's lasted so many years,
5
but
years.
It's now dead.
It's been a nice 5 years, and gone.
But then I find this taco shop, and it's like this really cool, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, I think their tagline was, freedom for tacos or something similar like that. And it was
freedom.
It was all really, custom creative artisanal tacos.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's pretty good. A little expensive, but I thought it was good.
Artisanal tacos, that definitely sounds like it's got a bit of a pricey bit. But don't you love those little spots though?
It was like $3.60, $3.50 per taco.
And are they like the bigger tacos, like a Taco Bell sized taco, or more like the small like?
I asked the guy, and he said, "Oh, these are street tacos," and I thought, "Oh, that's not good." But then I got the taco, and they're like 2 to 3 times street taco size.
Oh, okay, all right.
So street taco quality,
not like a
with Taco Bell size,
not like a big taco, but like a, I don't know, Taco Bell size taco.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah.
A regular taco. He said street tacos. This guy clearly has not had street tacos before, because
street tacos are
tacos are like as big as your palm.
Yeah, they're tiny. They're like a craft. They're like a small arts and crafts project. To all the places I go, it's just $6 for this tiny little exquisite taco with like 10 different items on it.
Yep, and it's like you end up spending $40 because you're like still not sated after just like 5.
Yeah, you're like, I need. Yeah. I've been really appreciating.
I did that.
Oh, go ahead, Sean, if you're not finished.
No. So I was gonna. You continue.
I was just gonna say, I really appreciate. I used to be such a stickler about Google reviews, right? Have you guys gone through this? Whenever you go somewhere, you look at Google review places. Mm-hmm. Is this not how you guys functioned when you go somewhere new?
I will look at a review, but I don't let it sway my. As long as they're like dead rats on the ground, then I'm like, all right, it's good.
Okay. I must be a real guy. This must go into my love for critics, because I'm always looking at Google reviews of new places to go whenever I go somewhere new. I always go to the most reviewed place with the highest stars. But lately, honestly, I've been getting away from that because it's so fun just to walk in an area where there's like 10 or 12 different restaurants, and you just go somewhere. You don't even look. You just like, this looks cool. Yep. I'm not going to go to like this one place with 13,000 reviews. I'll just go to this place that looks good.
See,
that's how I found the taco shop.
I'm like in the middle. I'll be like, oh, I'm wandering around. Oh, this seems like a cool spot. Look it up on Google real quick and be like, oh, it's got above 4 or 3.5 stars. Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's go. Let's take a look. It doesn't have to have like a ton of reviews. It doesn't have to be like the most hopping place, but it's like, looks decent and it gets decent reviews. So that means as you're saying, Sean, there's no dead rats on the floor. That's a positive. Let's go.
That's positive. Yep.
I will look at reviews more strongly when it's a service-based thing. Not food. Foods you could say is service, but like for example, I needed to wash my car, and I don't have a garage. I live in an apartment now, so I have to go somewhere to wash my car.
Mm-hmm.
However, I can't use an automatic car wash because I have a soft top on my Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, it was going to rip through that. So I have to go to like a self-service one. So I look up, best car washes, and that's when I'll actually look at the reviews to see like, okay, what do these places have? Like, how do they go? Because in my mind, I know a lot about food, and I don't need to trust a reviewer for food. But I don't know a lot about car washes. So their expertise, quote unquote, is better than mine. So that's when I look at reviews a lot.
Dude, speaking of car washes, I got mine washed today. So there's this place in my area that I won't say the name because that may give it away. I think it's relatively local. But they have this thing where you pay I think it's like $15 a month or so. I don't do it because I don't wash my car too often. But you have unlimited car washes. I can imagine that's such a great deal for people who are like extremely. It's full automatic, so Sean is automatically disqualified out of this.
I'd love to do that kind of deal. I'd go every week.
Yeah, you could go every week. That'd be so nice, actually, especially if you live somewhere where there's winter.
You go every day for some
after work.
Yeah, it's like bad snowstorm, salt.
Yeah,
gone.
If you go after work, the line will be backed up to the street.
Oh,
that's how many people. Yeah,
that's the bad thing.
It's insane. Yeah. But I want to, you go on the weekend and no one's around because it's like they do it almost religiously every single day through the audit you go to. It's like it's normal price for that, but it's great, and it's also a pretty quality wash too. My car is sparkling.
So I did an automatic car wash a couple weeks ago because my car was getting pretty salty because now I have snow and salt.
Yep.
So I'm like I really want to get it off because I want my car to last.
Yeah. We've lived through this.
I did an automatic one because in my head I'm like, okay, no brushes. But then I saw these things that says contactless automatic, and I thought, well, that's genius. I'll just do that.
Perfect.
So I go through it.
What a mad lad.
And It's, I'm explaining this because I had never done this before. Because I've always washed my own car. I never go through a car wash. And
well, California, you don't have
they
to.
had contactless, right? There's no brushes, but it's just these jets of water hit the car from like all sides.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this place, or I wanted to go to this place because they had an undercarriage wash too.
Yeah, best
so
part.
It would get all the salt out from underneath it. And so I'm going through, and I start to realize that it's a mistake. Like a quarter of the way through the thing.
Yeah, you're like, oh,
so they go
I can't
in,
back out.
and the jets that are coming are really high powered.
Yeah.
And so like, and I have like, plastic windows in the back. So like,
yeah, it's literally
it's all
plastic,
zippers and things.
For those who don't know.
So I'm going through and it's like hitting everything, and then
caving in your
there's
soft top.
there's like water shooting into my car.
Is it really that bad?
Like,
oh my god!
Like misting, into it, but not like not like a solid stream, but like getting through the zippers, and stuff like that. And so I'm like looking around, like kind of semi freaking out. And then they're coming. Jersey's on the top too, so I'm like semi holding up the roof.
Yeah, so it's a cave in. You're like, oh god,
I get like really nervous. And then the blowers come in, right? And those are like pushing every surface of my of my car.
Yeah,
it's like your soft top's like
get
destroyed.
I finish
the end.
out very clean, but I wasn't going back there.
Yeah, you're like terrifying experience.
That's hilarious, though.
So to finish my washing story, today I go to a hand wash one, or like a self wash.
Yep.
So it was the first time that I got like a little gun,
Oh, the best.
And around the whole thing. That was super cool. And you turn a little knob and then soap comes out and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or you got the
like an engine cleaner one.
You got like the big brushes that have soap automatically dispensed from them.
Like dispensing.
Yeah, there was one of those too.
Those things are the best.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah, so this is my new place to go, and I think it's like $5 for 10 minutes. So super good. The other place is way more expensive.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm going. This is great. Now I'm not worried about getting salt and everything on the car because I can go clean it up.
Yeah.
Nice and easy.
Does it get really salty where you're at?
Yeah.
As salty as Michigan was?
If you think about, I'll tell you, it was saltier than
Seriously?
Than Michigan, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Michigan, of all the places I've been, is just absurdly salty. Like,
yeah.
I'll still have like
might...
the worst thing is when you run your wipers, right? Because you get like a splash of water, and then the salt crystallizes on it, and then you're like, oh, I gotta run my wipers again, and then you can't get this off, right? And you have to take like
I usually run the wipers the liquid quite a bit.
Even with the liquid, it will still like.
Do you have like the dissolver stuff, the windshield wiper fluid?
Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps getting salty. Like I'll wash my windshield, and then like it's like 10 minutes later, and it's all spewed with salt again because the tires kick up all the water and salt and stuff.
Do you have
so it is a struggle.
Flaps too on your tires? Sean, you've got flaps.
I don't.
You don't?
Yeah.
I just wanted to get flaps.
No.
Okay.
I sure don't have flaps.
My windshield though is way flatter than your guys's, so I don't know if that helps drain things off a lot quicker.
Yeah, it just falls easier.
But it's can be a detriment too. I need to get my windshield replaced.
Really? What happened?
I've had that crack in my windshield for years, and I've just never replaced it. And I can't get those stickers. We had parking stickers at Michigan State, and they're just never coming off. So I gotta replace it for that too.
I mean, my old car, that's the same thing. You can never remove those parking stickers.
I just like to have it, and
just gotta get a new car.
It's actually not too cheap. It's like not too expensive. It's like $200 for $150-$200 for the full replacement for my vehicle.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Because really, I have a flat plane of glass. It's not like a compound curve or anything.
Yep.
It's like flat. It's very small.
Well, so that was the problem I ran into with my old cars. You'd get to the point where, even though I had a relatively common car, right? Parts became so much more expensive. Like I had to do my tires one time, and obviously there's specific tires. And like the first time I did my front tires after the 100,000 miles or whatever, got those replaced. Like the tires themselves, I did like 2, and it was like $150, something like that. $150-$200. Next time I had to do them, I did the 2, rotated them and did the front 2. It was like $450-$500 because of just the
for each tire.
total. And I'm like, excuse me, what?
That's pretty expensive. Yeah.
That's absurd because it's a 15-year-old car.
Yeah.
Was that just rotation or like new tires?
Rotation
themselves?
and new tires up front.
Yeah. But that's like $250 a tire.
Like super cheap.
$250 a tire is for that car is kind of expensive. I should be able to pay like $200 a tire for really nice tires for my car.
And they were not nice. They were like off-brand tires.
Yeah.
Are you saying
yours
that
might be different, Sean?
Jeep tires are even more expensive?
Well, generally big. With Jeep tires, they're bigger, so they're more rubber. Yeah. It's more expensive. And when I next get new tires, which is coming up pretty soon, I also need to get new rims.
Okay.
I need to replace the whole wheel.
But that's a different thing.
You get 5 of them when you have a Jeep.
Yeah, you have to get an extra one.
But
extra like $300-$400 for that.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's gonna be around $1,500, maybe a little less, depending on what I do.
Jeez. Why do you need new wheels though? Is that? I mean, I feel like your wheels, just use them, right?
Well, no, I hate my wheels. Because they're like the stock ones, and they look terrible, and I had like I plastic dipped them, and that's kind of peeling off now.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to do it again. It's easier just to get a nice new rim that fits the next couple tires that I want to get.
Sure, yeah. If you don't like them, you have that's reason enough.
Dude, I love the black tires, like the slight silver inlay. Like I was driving past in my parking lot, my boss's boss has a BMW. And I was like, those tires are sick. Or those rims are sick.
They make them so sexy.
I'm like, yeah. And with like, it had like blue calipers too. I'm like, gonna put this car up on blocks real quick and really quick swap out. Because I hate my rims too. They look like fucking basic. They're basic bitch rims.
I have a pretty good idea of what I want to get. It's just figuring out future expandability, because like there's rim diameter, right?
Yeah.
And that diameter changes depending on the size tire you want. So like, for example, I want to get, for a long time, I was going to get 33-inch tires, okay? And you have, and that's small, Michael.
Yeah, I know.
For a lot of Jeeps.
For a Jeep.
Yeah.
But still,
I'm sitting on my 17-inch wheels.
Exactly, yeah. I've got like 19s, yeah.
I think my rims are 17 inches alone. Jesus. But the thing is, if you have a bigger tire, you need a bigger rim, right? Because you're not going to have the whole thing as rubber. But there's some flexibility in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was going to get 33s, but then if I'm going to get 33s, it means I need to do several other things to my Jeep, which is going to drive the cost up. And I don't really want to do that right now. So in my head, I can get 31s, right? Which don't require anything extra to the Jeep. But if I get a rim that is the size that can also fit 33s, then eventually when my new tires wear down, 31s, I can get 33s, just the rubber, and I don't need to worry about the rims.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's my current plan. I just need to find the rim that's going to work for both.
To be fair, that's pretty impressive, though. You're talking about, when my current ones are going to wear out. You're talking about a Jeep that was 2004 is how old your Jeep is. Mm-hmm. It's insane how those things are still like running really well. Like they're just built like those old Jeeps, man, are built just.
I also don't have too much miles. I think I'm still under 150.
Seriously?
Super low, yeah.
So, yeah, well, because I bought it really low when I was in high school. I bought it. It was only at like 80 something miles, give or take.
And you've driven across the country multiple times, and you're still that low.
Yeah. It's just
I'm at like 147, I think.
It's got a lot of road trip miles on it, not much else. Because when you're at school, you don't drive it much, I guess. So that's like 4 years out of the way. And then
when I'm at work, I mean, I drive 60 miles to work.
Yeah.
There and back.
God, man, so, I put 20,000 miles on my car in a year. 20,000.
Same.
It's like stupid.
I'm at I'm at 1450 or 14,500 right now, with mine. But that's insane. Well, that's right. You had to drive to work because like I worked from home a lot.
Yeah,
most of last year.
I never got work from home, and I have 60 miles round trip.
60 miles round trip?
It's 60 miles round trip, yeah. So that's like really urgent up there. All right,
traffic?
You doxed me. just
I put a marker.
Thanks.
Yeah. In beep.
In beep traffic.
Traffic. Well, so
man.
My usual commute is like 16 miles round trip. That was my previous job.
Yeah.
My current job, it's more like 24 miles round trip.
Mm-hmm.
And then the longest ever was probably like, maybe 40 miles round trip. And that was in like Southern California. So it's not, I've never had to drive too long to work. So the most miles I put on it are when I go cross country.
It's not worth it.
I can't wait to eventually get like under a half-hour commute. I can't believe that I have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get to work by like 7:30. Like I want to wake up at 6 o'clock and then get there at 6:45.
You're telling me, man.
It was
I have to drive an hour to my job right now.
Oh, I would quit. Well, it's a big consideration to me where I work and where I live. Like when I got my current job, when I was looking for apartments, I'm like, it has to be within this radius.
Yeah,
otherwise,
within 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 15, 20. I'm 20 minutes I'm just under 20 minutes from work. So, I mean, like that to me, it works out.
Yeah, and is that all highway too, or commuting. Is it mostly
all highway? Yeah.
Although on the plus side, you can listen to a good podcast or something like that while you're in the commute.
True.
I mean, that's what I do.
Like if you have media consumption, you can like get that out of the way on the way to work. But honestly, just having having an hour at home instead of like on the way to work would be so beneficial.
I'd rather prefer it.
Of all the things I could do,
being at home,
so many things I could do.
Dude, right? You could cook. You could just do so many things.
Just cooking, yeah. Like if I want to make a big meal
instead of, it's like driving. Don't get me wrong, I love driving.
Right?
But
yeah, same.
When it's my choice. It's just a transition period, and you can't do much during a transition period.
Yeah.
If you're transitioning from one area to the other, you know what I'm saying?
On the plus side, I do like I hate having to wake up, same thing, 6 a.m., have to get into work by 8, right? You're like, why did I do this? But one positive side I'd say is I do like you get that hour to basically get in like the work mindset, right? It's like, you have an hour to think about. If you want to think about something, it's not like you're sitting there. I mean, to be fair, I also take my 30 minutes between my morning meeting and getting at 8 a.m. to like get my coffee and do that, chat, stuff like that. So frankly, I'm not super productive on those 30 minutes. But yeah, still, it's it's kind of nice that time to get kind of adjusted, get into the work zone.
Yeah, in the car you can wake up. Like you can actually like be ready to go when you get to work. That's one pro, but
that doesn't sound like a good way to drive if you're waking up while you're driving.
Like, it's different. It's not like
it's autonomic. I just drive and it's like, oh, I'm there.
I don't know.
I don't even remember my trip, man.
I was gonna say
anyone where I live.
Anyone can tell you.
Vigilant.
Anyone can tell you. Oh, sure. Anyone can tell you.
I've talked to you about this. Where I'm at, the drivers are terrible.
Where I'm at, the drivers are terrible.
I really have to watch.
Drivers are terrible.
Just saying.
Yeah. For me, it's actually the commute back though. That's terrible because I'm like hungry. I want to have food, and like I'm getting home at like 6 p.m., 6:30 sometimes, and you're like, fuck. I feel like I wasted like it feels like I've wasted so much of my time now. So.
Yeah.
That's what but that's life. And with this new work from home era we live in, I mean, that's kind of gone away for a lot of people. So
yeah,
kind of nice.
I bet everyone's so thankful for it. I know I was for a while. It was just amazing to have that.
I could sleep until 8.
I want a scooter at my place because my work is so massive that I have to like walk like miles every day. So like
that's awesome. At least
every other day.
It's like such good exercise.
No, it's not. I have to wear steel-toed boots though, and it's like they're not great. I need to get new ones. So
really, so you have to wear steel-toed boots as a requirement?
It's an active factory.
Yeah, if it's a manufacturing facility,
construction area. So
okay, OSHA requirements.
So yeah,
they provide me like money to buy the shoes
and like a hard hat and stuff like that too.
They provide the hard hat and everything like that. But yeah, I do have to wear a hard hat and safety glasses and everything. So it's it's not fun to walk that much time. So I want a little scooter, but I don't have. I can't.
No. Get
your boosted board and then just bring it.
I was considering, honestly, I'm considering getting a like a nickel board.
Oh, like one of the electric board? 5 penny.
No, not motorized.
Penny boards.
There's penny boards, right?
Yeah.
Nickel boards are just a little bit bigger.
Oh, okay. They actually call them nickel boards. It's funny.
Yeah, and so they don't like bow in as much as a penny board.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to use that to get around the gym or to get to and from the gym because it's like just far enough where walking is like, man,
it's a little annoying.
It's cold.
A couple extra minutes, but it is sometimes cold, but if I had a board, it's like zip, and I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
So
that'd be cool.
That'd be the way to do it.
I say get a boosted board, man. If you got a boosted board, I bet you could like go a lot of places. If you go get groceries with your board, like I want to cook this tonight, go to the grocery store, pick it up, 10 minutes back.
My streets are not good enough to go.
That is my dream, honestly. Like I would love to live in it. We were talking about this a bit, and I think you and I agreed on this, Colton. Is like if you also have like a little bodega close by where you can just do that almost every single night. Like basically part of your routine is you go home after work, go to the bodega, pick up what you want for that meal tonight, and then cook it at home and be like, this is the life.
This is the life, yeah.
Not like a big box store, like going to Walmart or Meijer or anything like that. Like it's not the same.
Store that's within walking distance. Yeah.
I'm okay with spending like a little extra money, like 15%, 20% more on it, but it'll save.
Speaking, of saving time, right? Because as kind of we were talking about, like saving time for the commute and everything. I've been trying to do this for weeks now. I want to bring up a new subject, a new segment called "Let Sean Justify What He Bought."
So you have to buy something new every week, and we have to go over it every single week.
I like this. No,
well, it might not be a weekly segment, but like, so the thing that I bought, and you can actually see it in my camera here, but
wait, can I guess?
I bought a Roomba.
Oh, I can't see it now. Yeah,
it's like right there. So it's not actually a Roomba. It's like a Shark.
It's like Shark. It's the Walmart brand.
But it's a Roomba. Yeah. It's a little self-cleaning robot thing.
Yeah.
And let me tell you why I bought this. So I was at Costco. I was wandering through the aisles, and as you do, and they had the vacuums, and I don't have a vacuum in my new place yet. And I really like to clean, or keep things clean. So I'm like looking around, and then they had the Roombas there and the Sharks. And I'm like, that's the same cost as a regular vacuum, really.
And it's a robot,
like a decent vacuum. And I've always wanted one, so I might as well get it. And then Costco has like a 5-year or some insane type of warranty on vacuums. You can take it back for literally any reason. And I thought, I'll buy it, test it out, and if it's just really not working for my setup or anything like that, or it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, I'll take it back.
Or just break it in 5 years and get a new one. Get the newest model in 5 years.
Or that. Well, that seems a little bit taking advantage, but potentially. So I got this thing, and it's been pretty cool. It just and I don't have a ton of square footage, so it just it goes around, does its thing, and now it does it like I have it set to go at like lunch during the week. So whenever I'm just gone, and then I come back and everything's clean on the ground and everything. It's super cool.
That's really cool. And it works really well for you? Because I've tried those. I bought one for my dad because he was like, fucking, I hate vacuuming and shit.
I hate vacuuming. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate hardwood. And so I'm like, all right, I'll get you this. And I did, and it just never really worked that well. It was a Roomba, like a true iRobot Roomba. And he was like, yeah, this is garbage. So we ended up doing the same thing. Costco, take it back.
I think they've come a long way.
Yeah.
I think it depends on how it maps the floor, because this thing does a grid. It doesn't just wander bumping randomly, which is how they originally did it, which makes no sense to me, why that was originally a thing. So it goes out, it does a grid. And for me, it works because I have hardwood. So I watched it the first time I ran it. I watched it the whole time just to make sure that it didn't get caught up or anything, or didn't have trouble. And so I have mainly hardwood with a carpeted area and a couple floor carpets, floor rugs. and I was really uncertain of how it was going to handle the floor rugs because I thought I was going to like flip it over, get stuck on that,
get caught on it,
and I didn't know how I was going to handle the transition into my carpeted area because it's like a 1/2-inch gap up. Wasn't sure, but it did it all, and it just does things. The only thing it has issues with is my bar stools.
Oh, they're so like tight spaces.
It's trying to it's like a bar that runs along the ground. That's how the bar stool is. So it'll go to it and it, like run up on it and or like freak out a little bit. It goes through and figures it out, but it pushes them around and it's a little too much. So before cleaning days, I just put them on the island, like upside down on the island.
Yeah, like how
and then it
how
can just go around and do everything. Yeah. And it keeps things nice and clean, and it's got the self emptier, so I haven't had to empty yet because I don't have that much dirt that gets generated, but it's been pretty cool. I like this.
No, it's like one less thing you have to do now.
Shit.
Have the Roomba.
I mean, I don't have to vacuum or anything.
I will say, okay.
I still need like a duster, but other than that,
I have the same model. I have a Shark, and I won it at one of my.
You do?
Yeah, I won it at my parents' Christmas games. Remember me talking about that? Where like we did the raffle thing, the Saran Wrap ball, and we won prizes. One of the Shark thing was one of those prizes.
And they fit inside a Saran Wrap ball?
Christmas event? That's crazy.
Yeah. It wasn't, the whole thing wasn't in the Saran Wrap ball. It was just a ticket for the prize. You got the golden ticket. So I got that in pots and pans, and my parents went all out. But I got the Shark thing.
Wow.
And in my apartment, man, that thing can't do shit. I will say that. I have so much furniture. Oh, I have thick rugs. It's not really that. It's the mapping technology. I have so many pieces of furniture, cat toys, and little legs everywhere. You know what I mean? Like little furniture legs everywhere. There's so much.
I bet Penny really enjoys that thing.
There's literally like an abyss. It's where, because we have extra, like the futon we have is just like completely unneeded, so it's like stuffed in the corner. But the Roomba will like enter this abyss zone where it goes by the futon and gets basically trapped in there forever. So we have to like try and make the Roomba avoid that one space. But if we forget about it, he'll just go into the abyss and die. His battery will die. But that one place gets really clean.
It definitely doesn't. It doesn't work for every setup because it has to like Olton's saying, like he's got some. I
got clutter
issue areas.
Clutter.
But like In my area, it works really good because I don't have any cables on the ground.
Yep.
I keep everything kept out of sight on that end. I don't have any cat toys on the ground. So it's like it does everything really well. Even like my bed, which has like the posts, and it's got like 8 posts or something like that. It'll go into the bed and just go around those, and it won't have an issue. So it does really well. The only thing I had to block off, and they give you like this magnetic tape or strip that it senses and it just blocks it off.
Oh,
it turns away.
Okay.
And the only area I did that is my desk right here because the legs of my desk are angled, so it'll like drive up on them, and it kind of throws it off. And then I have a couple cables on the back near the wall that are near the ground because I can't really get rid of those. So I just have that kind of blocked off. So it gets under my desk, but not all the way to the back, and I blocked off the legs. So that's the only modifications I needed to do, and it kind of gets everything else.
Okay.
Well, so do we justify it, Mike? Can we justify Mike's purchase?
I think...
you guys should actually have to see if I proved myself.
I rate... Oh, I don't know. I think it's like decent. Do you have an actual vacuum yet, actually? Do you have your own vacuum?
No.
So you only have Roomba?
Yep.
I don't know.
How do you vacuum up under your desk though? Because I don't know about me, but like, I'll be like drinking or I'll like be like snacking on something at my desk, and I'll be like, oh shit, as crumbs on the ground.
I guess I'm just not that dirty.
I guess you're not a heathen like I am then.
Yeah, I guess we're all way dirtier.
Well, no, it does go under my desk though, so it can get that air.
I thought you said it didn't.
The magnetic strip.
I'll have to send you a picture. It can go in and under, but not in the very back near like the baseboard or whatever you call it, the molding.
Yeah.
Because that's where some of the cables are. So if that area does get dirty, then I'll need to go in and get that. But
for now,
I don't.
You have a robot
I've not
slave.
reached that area.
Huh. Yeah. I think I could justify this.
I named it Jeff.
Named it Jeff?
I named my robot Jeff.
I think I named mine Sharky, which is so So weird.
And it cleans every Tuesday and Friday.
Oh yeah, it's scheduled.
So,
wow.
That's really awesome.
I can schedule it. I can check on how it's doing it. I can from my app, and I can see like where it cleans.
Does it link in with home automation?
It can, but it does get a little. It does limit it in some way for my home automation thing. So I haven't done that yet.
But does it have RGB color gaming?
Yeah, right. Is it a gamer
robot? It has
robot?
a blue light on it.
Can I go pink, red, the rainbow color scheme on the whole robot?
Yeah.
If not,
sponsored by. Yeah.
So that's like the area it cleaned.
Oh, it maps it
it gives me a map of the whole thing. So it maps my place.
Are you sure that's
and
accurate?
then it gives me.
Is that? Yeah, I guess that is kind of accurate.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty accurate. I mean, it's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty much there.
How does it know your floor plan?
There's my island right there, and then there's my that's my bedroom, and then that's the
bathroom,
living room, bathroom's over there. I do a couple things to make it a little easier for it. So like I close the bathroom door to the living room area, but I have it open from in the bedroom access area. So like it doesn't get too confused. It kind of just does every area on its own.
That's really awesome.
But it's not a lot of work that I have to do.
Shit, you're making me want to buy a Roomba again.
That means it's working.
I don't know. I think you should have bought a regular vacuum first, but I'll justify the Roomba this time.
I might eventually have to get like a small, like one of those small handheld ones.
That would be nice for like
the hard to reach places.
Yeah, that's what I've got. I've got I went all out.
You got a Dyson.
I got a nice little Dyson handheld.
Dysons are so good. Yeah,
it's really dope. I gotta say, just for like a small 1-bedroom apartment, it's perfect. Like you just go and like me cooking everything. Like there's some pasta on the floor, sucks it right up.
How do you get pasta?
Because again, I'm a fucking heathen, man. Stuff. I'm like, oh shit, I dropped some pasta, and like when I'm like on the walk, right, I'm like going like crazy, stir frying stuff up, and like, oh shoot, like a cooked onion flies out and like lands on the floor. I'm like, shit.
I'm such a messy cooker. I will like, I'll like get the flour out. I'll scoop flour, put it in like a thing. It's just like everywhere.
Dude,
all of a sudden,
it's like, oh my god, that's the one thing that bothers the hell out of me. I don't know what it is, but flour, like I try not to fuck with it as much as possible because flour, like if I spill it, it'll be like, okay, that's the one thing I'm super like, I need to clean this up. It's like the same thing. I don't know about you, but glitter. Does glitter bother you guys at all?
Glitter,
I hate glitter.
Would if I had it regularly in my space.
I've never had it in my house. But
But
it's the same thing. It's like tiny. It like gets everywhere, and then you're like
sand.
Sticks to everything. Yeah,
but I like sand's easy. Though. Sand's easy.
Nice. You just vacuum up because it falls.
Sand's easier than glitter.
Glitter.
Flour is
mass
just
and weight. Glitter's
just there.
With my little Roomba though, I can tell it to clean certain areas. So if I made mess in the kitchen, I can just go clean the kitchen, and it goes whoop and does the kitchen.
Well,
technology.
I think you sold me, man. So leave it. And as long as like I've got that same thing where it's like the partition between the like carpet and tile, and so if I can get over that, then you sold me.
I mean, I just had to go around. I went around my whole place, and I was like, okay, what do I need to straighten up or put away for it to not get caught up on it? And like, I think when I first got it, I didn't have like a bookshelf still, so I had a bunch of like wires and things on the ground. So I just put a couple boxes around that, so it didn't like run into wires and get caught up in that. But other than that, and that's all in a bookshelf now, so it can clean everything now. It's quite nice. It also doesn't like my bathroom mat, my shower mat.
Oh, because those are usually
like you get out of the shower, and it's like a little microfiber thing. It doesn't like that.
Microfiber.
So every day before cleaning day, I just put it on top of the toilet essentially. Yeah. Close the thing and put it on. And then it can clean underneath that, and then when I come back, I put it down.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It's a concession I make.
Apartment clean.
See, at that point, you might as well
just
get a regular
vacuum. It's like 2 things I have to do. I have to put up my chairs, and then I have to put the bath mat up, and that's it.
Sounds like a lot of work.
I know. I mean, it's bringing the cons to the situation here.
Yep.
Is it worth it? We'll let the audience decide. I don't know.
Rate make a poll. Oh gosh.
How do we do that?
Can we
could make an email.
Just like comment really. If we went on Twitter, you can make a poll.
We
got everyone
Twitter,
to follow us on
YouTube,
Twitter.
You can do polls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll see about making a Twitter account, and then we can poll the thing.
When the episode comes out, yeah. That's a smart idea.
How long do polls last on Twitter?
I think they last as long as you want.
I don't think I've ever used Twitter.
I've never used Twitter either. Man, we're such boomers. We never used Twitter.
Dude.
Yeah. Twitter is just a nutty thing, yeah.
Do you guys what social media do you guys even have?
I use
Instagram.
I use basically Reddit. I don't even use Instagram that much anymore.
Reddit too. Reddit and Instagram.
Is Reddit really social media though? Because it's totally anonymous.
I think Reddit's kind of social media.
I almost don't consider it is, but it's a little different than a lot of typical.
It's like how YouTube is like a social media, quote unquote, right? What?
Yeah. It's like in that same realm. If YouTube was considered social media.
Yeah. Whereas like I have an Instagram that I never ever go on. I think my last post was 4 years ago.
Yeah, I haven't been on it in so long.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But yeah, I don't know.
I'll tell you. Let's see. I have over last week. I'll tell you how much I was on Instagram and Reddit on my phone. And I don't know if this is per day. No, it can't be per day. So the whole week, I was on my Instagram for an hour and 48 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And then Reddit for an hour and 20.
Really? You don't go on Reddit very often on your phone?
No, that's kind of it. And because I'm only on my phone an hour and 30, an average for an hour and 30.
Every day?
Every day.
That's really good.
Really?
Mine is like 6 hours.
I was gonna say, I feel like
you watch most of your media on your phone,
That's
Michael.
True.
I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
If you did it from my computer, it'd be way more.
My eyes are gonna freaking kill me like later in life. But yeah, no, I watch all my media, anything like that, and obviously at work I'll be like, I'll open Reddit in the middle of something, or frankly, if I'm in the middle of a meeting and I don't really give a fuck what's being talked about because people are just rambling on, I'm opening up Reddit. I'm on Teams. It doesn't really matter. Don't have a camera on, so whatever. I'm doing other things. But yeah, I'm outing myself on that, but everyone does it. So
they don't know who you are.
I feel like
I guess we have Messenger too.
Okay, this is interesting. There's a first used after pickup section of this because I'm looking at screen time for iPhones, and so my week average is 85. I picked up my phone 85 times per day on average, and the first used app, I don't know how this makes it says Instagram is 57 times.
57 times out of the 85 times?
It's out of the 100. It's out of the total pickups for the entire week. How many of those? How many? Wow, this is really hard to explain for some reason for me. So I picked up my phone 596 times last week. Of those 596 times, 47 times Instagram was the first app I opened after I picked up my phone.
Really interesting.
And then messages, like just texting, was 83.
Yeah.
And that was
that's
the most
probably
used.
the most used for most people. Messaging apps.
Reddit was only 27.
Yeah, first used after pickup is YouTube for me, mostly because what I'll have a YouTube video in the car, and I'll be listening to it, and then it'll be like, oh, switch to something next, hit next, or listen to it like while doing something. I'll have YouTube going. Like, so I'm looking at my screen time right now. YouTube, so like 6 hours.
What's your total?
6 hours average.
Per day?
5.5 hours YouTube.
It's a lot.
Per day or per week?
Per day. 6.5 hours average.
Jeez. Yeah. Sheesh.
No, that doesn't count. Like,
I guess
I'll spend a lot more time on YouTube if it's in the like if it's on the weekends. But like obviously. So think about this, right? I'm listening to a YouTube video for at least 2 hours a day, at least, because of driving from work and to back over an hour.
Same for me. True, I watch podcasts that are on YouTube. Yeah. Podcasts that are on YouTube. I watch them on YouTube.
I just do music when I'm in the car, really.
Sometimes for me, but mostly I'll be listening to something. I want to keep my mind engaged. Like, unless I'm going to that, what we were talking about earlier, where it's like, you go in that zone right before work. But like for me, it's like, I want to keep my mind engaged, thinking about something. Like usually it's something like IT related or cybersecurity related, something like that, or just general, whatever, random information. you know. But and then they'll be like, all right, and then at night I'll usually spend 2 hours or so before bed. It's kind of bad, right?
That's two before bed's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
I mean, to be fair though, I'm like watching TV before I go to bed, but that's not on my phone. It's just on the TV or something.
See,
so
all of my media is basically YouTube.
Yeah, same as all my media is.
And heck, I'll even play video games and I'll be listening to YouTube or something like that. Same time.
Oh, really?
On my phone.
I could not do that. I have to be focused on one thing.
If I'm playing Apex, hell no, I'm not listening to YouTube because you need to be like in the zone. But if I'm playing something like a little more grindier, like frankly, Destiny, like the latest Destiny expansion released this past week, and I've been playing a lot of that. But I'll be like, all right, one ear I got my headphones in, listening to YouTube. The other ear I've got the game playing because I'm not playing any kind of.
I used to do that as a kid.
I can't
do that anymore. Like I have to like just focus on one thing nowadays.
I feel like I'm one of the only people that can't listen to music while working. I struggle pretty hard listening to music while working on things at work.
Really?
I need to listen to music.
Sometimes if I'm in my own house, in my own space, I could do a music. It has to be orchestral. It can't be anything like lyrical. But
really?
At work, it just feels weird. Like I like getting into it. I'm like, oh, like trying to like feel the zone, get in the zone with my work. And when I'm at work, I don't know. There's something about it. I just like hearing everything around me and not being distracted. It's almost a distraction at work instead. It's weird.
That's so weird. Like to me, music is like how I focus on things. It like centers me. So like when I was in college, let's say, or high school.
Yeah.
If I was ever writing an essay, I need music on, and the faster the music was, the more the music was, the faster I was writing an essay. And I'm like, I crank out an essay really quick if I had like good songs going on.
Could you guys do lyrical music though while studying specifically? So you guys,
I never studied.
I never.
Well, okay, when you ever did projects,
lyrical music in general normally, it's all.
But yeah, lyrical, I do that a lot.
Yeah.
That's like the worst for me. I could like never focus. It's even if it's something I've never heard before. I listen to the,
which is weird because you're like the most musically inclined person.
Yeah. Like as far as music goes, I'm way more of a non-lyrical person. I think, like you said, Mike, I've actually been wanting to have this discussion for a while because, I listen to a lot of non-lyrical music because for a lot of reasons. It's just like I like the voice in music a lot, but sometimes like I don't like the lyrics, or the lyrics like cheapen the song sometimes. And that's why I listen to like foreign music if I do have listen to music that's lyrical, or just music that doesn't have lyrics in it at all, honestly.
Yeah, because it doesn't weird.
I don't like a lot of, I don't know, it might be a hot take. I think a lot of lyrical music has really, really cheesy lyrics, and sometimes it takes me out of it, or I hear a song and the musicality of it makes me feel a certain way, but the lyrics don't match that musicality or the feeling that I got from it. So when I do listen to the lyrics, it cheapens it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So from there, that's why I prefer not to have lyrics in the music. Even if there is lyrics in the music, though, I'm just one of those people who can listen to a song in my own language like 50 times and not know what the lyrics are at all. Like have no idea.
Yeah, you're all about the beat.
I'm all about the beat, like the musical, the voice as an instrument.
I'll listen to For's music as well, and just I don't need to know lyrics, but the melody or the sound is enough.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something that like I don't relate to a lot of people with. I feel like a lot of people don't have that feeling towards music. They all like the lyrics.
I don't know what type of music you guys listen to in general, but like, I don't listen to new music for the most part, or like mainstream music.
Yeah,
that makes you sound hipsterish. But like, I'm not that far into like I don't indie music. I'm not really into that either. I mean, like I normally listen to like classic rock, or alternative, and then some electric stuff depending on how it goes. But I don't like actively find new releases and things like that. Like I'll listen to old things constantly. And I don't know, I like lyrics a lot of the times. Like like I feel like if I can sing along to songs way more than I think I'm able to, just because I just have internalized the lyrics and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I do like, what's the word for non-lyrical stuff?
Orchestral or instrumental?
Instrumental, orchestral. I do listen to a lot of instrumental stuff. Like I listen to a lot of soundtracks.
Yeah. Same here. Soundtracks are big for me.
But I mean, there's plenty of soundtracks.
And there's certain things in the soundtracks that mean different things to me.
Plenty of soundtracks that are fairly lyrical too. I know there's quite a few, but
it's true.
I don't know about you, but you mentioned EDM, Sean. Like that's my I love classic rock, but I've been liking a lot of EDM. Actually, ever since that you kind of like got me into it. Like I remember you're like, hey, check out this stuff. I'm like, sure, I'll try it. And for whatever reason, my brain just like we were talking about like working, right? And I won't say I work best with EDM music, but if I need to like think, I'll just put loud ass EDM on, and for whatever reason, it just everything else kind of I can like have like a coherent thought at times. And I don't know why that is, but it's just you put good EDM or anything that's got like the classic rock does it too, right? Where you have like the kind of high low that EDM does, and it's just rhythmic and kind of like similar patterns, and it just I don't know, feels
like
good.
If I'm studying, when I rarely studied in college, I would have slower music on, like for example the soundtrack to Death Parade. I'd put that on. Like, and that was a really good focused studying song, very calm, kind
except
of jazzy.
For the
that's
intro.
not the opening. Yeah, that's not the opening
that's
song.
not the sound. To me, that's not soundtrack. That's like an opening.
Oh,
and ending.
so excluding those. Okay.
Yeah, excluding those. Just like the background music of the whole show.
Yep.
And that'd be like studying. But like if I'm writing something or trying to focus on, making a new thing, or if I'm scripting it, anything where I'm actually like trying to build something, then it's usually higher energy stuff that I put on.
Motivated.
EDM. Dude, I've been jamming to the Persona 5 soundtrack recently.
So
Colin can appreciate that.
The great thing about that soundtrack is it has multiple stuff. You have the calms, and then you have the hype stuff too.
Oh yeah, and I love the kind of jazzy, funky feel of it.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And I never even played the games. Like the only thing I'd watch you occasionally because you were like super hype. I think it was sophomore year, right, when it came out, and you're like super hype that oh my gosh, Persona 5's coming out because you played. Was it 2 or was it 2 or 3 that you played?
I played Persona 3 and I loved it. I played it in high school, and that was an old game when Persona 5 came out. So, yeah.
But that soundtrack is dope.
Yeah.
It's super good.
One sound that always gets me like hyped up is the Halo soundtrack.
That's like something.
Like any of the Halos.
Yeah, that's like
Halo 3 especially.
I feel like
it's like it's going down right now.
Objective survive.
Yeah. Is that something where like you think you have an emotional attachment to the song from when you played it before? Because I hear that and I know it's the classic Halo song. I don't get super freaking hyped for it, but I imagine like there's a lot of songs
maybe not. I wouldn't say emotional connection. It's just like a connection for sure. Yeah. But like I would have emotional connections to certain, anime soundtracks, let's say.
I have
it's just stuff. I'm trying to think of one that comes to mind in particular, I mean, I was just talking with Michael that I was rewatching Kill la Kill. And like there's certain things in that, the music comes on, you're like, oh my God, it hurts, or like, or it's really hype, or that I would have more of a connection to than the video game. But playing the video game, definitely
adds
more
something.
emotional connection there. Not necessarily a soundtrack, but a connection nonetheless.
Yeah.
Like I feel something when I put the Halo soundtrack on.
Yeah. No,
you want to know
good hype music?
You want to know a slightly hot take that I have? Can't remember if I've talked about it on the podcast, but I may have talked about it with you guys. For the most part, I really, really, really can't stand classical rock music, though.
Really?
What?
You've never mentioned this probably because we talk about this
I know
a lot.
Michael has like one of the worst song takes ever.
What? What song?
Wait, can we detour on this?
You don't like Stairway to Heaven?
Oh yeah, I don't.
It's ridiculous. It's a perfect song.
I'm to the point where it's like I don't even know the tune of that song. I mean, I would know it if you sung it for me, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Led Zeppelin, right? Stairway to Heaven.
It's just like my dad played it like all the time in the car. Sorry, Dad, if you're watching this. Like, it's not bad. Like, I think I can recognize classical rock as like somewhat being objectively good. It's just not my personal tastes. But
well, that's weird because my dad also played in the car all the time.
Yeah, but
and that's how I got into it. And you're saying it's the opposite.
It was like this goes back to the whole thing. It's like, okay, I like rock a lot. Rock music I really like. Modern rock mostly. Not the classic rock stuff. Mm-hmm. So I really like guitars, I like drums, I like, even like electronic stuff thrown into rock. But it's like the vocals in those in classic rock were so much less about the musicality, I feel like. Does that make sense? Do you think that's correct?
Can you explain that a bit more?
When you think of AC/DC, the guy's not a good singer. He's just like got a vibe.
Fair.
Yeah, but that's what classic rock's about.
But then how do you define a good singer?
How do you define someone that sings in tune and sings like with the instruments? I'm not saying. So
you wouldn't say Metallica is a good singer.
I wouldn't say he's a good singer, but I would prefer maybe his singing compared to AC/DC.
So you just don't like gravelly voice, apparently.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like if the guy singing AC/DC was like really musical with it and his like voice was actually like a musical instrument, I feel like it's not a musical instrument in his
What about
songs.
like Bon Jovi? Do you like Bon Jovi?
I don't know his songs. What songs does he sing?
I'm trying to think of.
You should listen to Tool.
I don't know. Sure. Okay.
Well, because they're very like how they do their music is very musical, and like what you're describing that you like.
Yeah.
Like they have and when what they do with their music is very interesting. Like they have one song where the movements in the song correspond to the Fibonacci sequence.
What?
Things like that.
That's pretty whack.
There's tons of stuff
that's a
like
cool
that with Tool
thing with that, I guess. But even artists like, I know Rush decently well because my dad really likes Rush.
I was about to mention Rush. Yeah.
Even that, it's like that is a lot better than AC/DC because the guy's actually talented. They've got really talented musicians on that band as well, but just like kind of the tone of it, I don't like that style. I just really don't like the style of 80s and classic rock.
Yeah.
Like when you get into the 90s.
Interesting.
What about what?
What about the Bee Gees?
I don't like the Beatles. Is that what you're
No.
I don't like
the
the
Beatles. No, the Beatles. That's a different thing. I'm with you though. I don't like the Beatles either.
But no, why you like the Beatles?
I don't
the
like
Bee
the
Gees
Beatles at
are
all.
Staying Alive. Trying to think.
The Beatles.
Guys
great,
got
though.
an extremely high pitched voice. Like he got kicked in the balls as a kid and it stayed with him.
I'm not sure about the Bee Gees, but the Beatles is another one where like I think the Beatles are. I don't know. I don't like them at all. I can't stand most of their stuff. I can't.
I'm amazed this has not come up before.
Probably because Colby's kept it on the
I
DL.
listen to this all the time.
I honestly think my music tastes are so bad. I don't think many people like my music tastes because, like, who the fuck?
I don't think I've heard you listening to music.
Who the fuck doesn't like? Who the fuck likes just non-orchestral or orchestral music only? Like I'm like one of the worst people that give the
only
aux
is a
chord
bit
to
crazy
because.
But
well, I mean,
or unique.
I don't know.
Say.
Like
it's not crazy.
I like foreign music so much more, and it's not just because I like anime. I like anime openings. It's not just because of that, but
I like a lot of German music. Actually,
I'll even
German
listen
and French.
to.
I like a lot of French.
I'll even
music.
listen to like BTS because I like poppy tunes. I just don't like.
Wait,
I don't like knowing the lyrics to them.
You'll listen to BTS?
I would, yeah, because I like the tune of pop music. But I don't like understanding the lyrics because it cheapens it. It cheapens the whole thing.
This doesn't make any sense to me, Colton. You're a man of contradictions.
I'm not a man of contradictions.
You don't like lyrics because to you they tell you how to think about something, correct?
That's why I don't like lyrics in my native language sometimes. In general, when I listen to a lyrical song, I don't. I'll ignore it. I'll blank it out. That's why I can equally appreciate both of them, at least.
But yet, you must go to the critics to tell you how to feel about a movie.
No, I go to the critics to get. Oh my! I'm clipping right now because I'm getting rageful. Just kidding.
You're getting so riled up.
I like getting a input about critics, like what they think. I like getting perspectives on different situations. And if everyone says if everyone's perspective is good, then I'll be more inclined to see the movie. With music, critically judging music is so much different than judging a movie, in my opinion, because music is so much more subjective than a movie. Cool. Yeah. Gamers, we're back.
So yeah,
you ready?
Mild technical difficulty on my end there.
Yeah, we had a little minor glitch here. We actually, one of our recording things froze. So I think we were talking about BTS, right? I think at the time of
the glitch
closure,
yeah,
as best you could tell. But we had jumped into talking about record players and records in general. Because I had just bought a record player, because my dad had a very like a vinyl collection, and that started my vinyl collection. And then when I moved, I didn't really have a way to play them, so I needed to go get a record player, which this turned into a very expensive weekend. Let me tell you guys, because
two big devices in one weekend.
No, Roomba I bought months ago. Okay. I bought the Roomba like a couple months ago.
Oh, did you? Oh,
yeah.
Man, Sean's spending that money.
But the record player I bought this week, and I found a really cool record store. It's got tons of stuff, new, old, and they had I've been looking at a record players for a while to figure out what I wanted, and this one had kind of what I wanted, and it looked nice. And for me, a big part of records is kind of the ritual aspect of it, of like dropping the pin and putting in everything. And there's a lot of automatic ones nowadays, and I did not want an automatic one. I wanted fully manual with the counterbalance and everything, and I was able to get that at a very stylish look to it, which I sent you guys a picture of my record. It's got the
nice wood on there.
Yeah, it's a wood grain plate and the base, and then the table is aluminum.
That is
it's very nice. And then the needle, not the needle, but like the what do you call the
thing
rod
that touches? The thing that touches?
No, because that's the needle cartridge. But then there's like the
rocker that like you put down on the thing.
There's the arm, the needle arm.
That's the arm. Yeah.
That's carbon fiber. Yeah, the rod.
Oh, really?
It's if you look at the picture, it's carbon fiber.
The optimal weight.
It's super lightweight and everything.
Jeez,
ergonomic. It's like race.
It wasn't cheap,
car.
but this place I actually got a membership at this record place, which was a mistake.
No.
And you get 10% off everything that's not a record, and in a record you get $1 off every record. So
how much?
And it's like a one-time membership for life. So I figured, since that's super nearby, and I have a record player now, I'll be going back there.
Yeah. And you gotta fill out that record stand.
Yeah,
for sure. How much?
Which is gonna be a problem, because I'm gonna fill it out, and then I'll be like, well, now I need another one.
Yeah, exactly.
So annoying.
Yeah. It's like that bookshelf.
And they're not light. I got a pack of dust jackets, and then I was replacing some of the old ones, and I was picking up the whole stack of records at once, and it's not light. Like it's a good amount of weight.
Yeah, well, they're hefty vinyl, man.
Yeah, so I don't know. I really like. We were kind of talking about how nowadays music. You don't own music nowadays,
right?
Which I really don't like, because you stream it all, and you don't have the file, even the digital files. You don't have them; they're just all streaming.
Yeah.
iTunes, for all its marketplace dominance, at least you were able to buy the CD and download the music.
Yeah, that's true. You used to be able to do that.
You own a non-reproducible license for that one MP3 or whatever, right? And you have that, right? And you can I need to burn it or something, right? I miss that.
Now you can't do it now. Like it's harder nowadays. And what I don't necessarily like about, because I really like high fidelity, and really, in most aspects of my life,
right? Yeah,
whether
you want
it
the
be
most
food
premium
or
quality.
music or anything. And what I didn't like about iTunes is they limit the download quality. Not to terrible, but like it's like 256 kilobytes a second, I believe, which is fairly standard for audio. You don't really lose too much, but I would really like to have 360, which is like
a high
standard
fidelity.
for higher fidelity, and then there's FLAC, which is like lossless audio, and that's what's really nice about records, is that there is no like bit
bandwidth
level for records. They're just analog. You're getting everything possible from the record. They're definitely making a comeback for several of those reasons, you know?
Yeah. And there's a certain beauty to them too, where, you know, one, you're talking about that ritual aspect, right? Where you put it on the disc, right? I think when I was younger, I used to spend a lot of summers at my grandmother's house, and what happened is she had this record player down in the basement, and I'd always listen to, like, she had the old AC/DC album. She had one for like the Irish Rovers, and she had one for Jimi Hendrix, right?
Yeah,
that's a nice album.
It's a nice one to listen to on vinyl.
Yeah, and
classic rock does sound the best on vinyl. It does. Say. I know you don't like that, Colton, but
yeah. Maybe that's why I haven't appreciated it. Maybe I just need to listen on vinyl.
I don't know. There's a certain sacredness, a certain divinity almost to the vinyls themselves. It's like there's something special about it, and you can, I don't know if I can't put my finger on it. I know
I don't know what it is either. Like I also got a vinyl cleaner, so, and it's like this, it's really cool. It's actually like it's a curved velvet brush, and it has 2 holes at the top which you put like this cleaning solution in, and it disperses to the velvet pad. So then as it's spinning, you just kind of lightly like brush it along the top. You don't like jam it in, you know, but you like rest it on the top of the record as it turns for a minute, and it just like gets, and anyone who's used a record, you can see that, you know, it'll get like dust on it or these little white specks, and it jams up the needle and everything. But then I do the brush thing, and it's just like this perfect, smooth, nice surface.
Yeah, it's
not
like
smooth, but you know what I'm saying.
I just shined my shoes today. You know, I haven't shown them in a while since getting the new job, and I'm wearing nicer leather shoes. And I don't know if you've ever done that before, but like I feel it's like the same experience where it's like, you know, you'll have like the little like nicks and stuff like that, especially like a leather shoe, right? And you'll like just take the polish. I didn't get like super nice polish, just classic Kiwi or whatever it is, and to like clean it up. But yeah, it's so nice now. My shoes are all nice and not shiny because I got a matte polish for the specific shoe I've got, but still it's like so much nicer. You know, the leather actually looks healthy now.
Yeah,
and not like bruised and battered after
care
salt.
Of your stuff is so nice.
Taking care, being clean is so good.
But there's a difference between like it's not a cleanliness thing. It's almost like it's a meticulous.
It's healthy, like you were saying. It's like healthy looking, and it works.
I don't know, looking good. Yeah,
it is ritualistic in a sense, as you're saying, Sean. There's a kind of a beauty to the ritual itself.
Yeah, it's a great time.
Maybe that's what draws us to Japanese culture. I know that's something I really appreciate about it is they have a very ritualistic attitude.
Yeah, very routine based and very like, you know, dozo. You know, like it's very like process driven.
Yeah, exactly. It is from an organizational standpoint. It's process driven. It truly is. Yeah. But like that's something I've always really appreciated is like, you know, you have like these little minor rituals for everything, right? And in a lot of ways, it adds a certain elegance, you know, like, and it adds a certain almost appreciation for those everyday little things, right? That you don't normally get in a hectic day-to-day standpoint. You know, you kind of have that moment to slow down and to think.
Yeah.
And kind of I don't know.
It's just nice to have that stuff.
That's why I like music. It's just like I don't know. Each song you could say is a ritual.
Each song is a ritual?
Well, like you get in the same thoughts, the same lyrics, and you're like,
I get you there. Yeah, it's like the same kind of feeling.
Yeah, it brings that same feeling back.
Yeah, isn't vinyl? Just a quick question on it. Isn't that technically a lower quality though? You were saying you like high quality stuff, Sean. Is vinyl? I thought you would get more quality from like an MP3 variant of a song, but vinyl.
Technically, no.
No,
although there's lots of factors that determine quality on both ends. So
I would think,
an MP3 can give you high quality, and you know, as good a quality as record. I'm sure people are going to argue on this. It can give you as good a quality as a record player.
Hot take.
The only issue with with MP3s, and this also happens to record players, but it's degradation. So a file will degrade over time just based on its storage media and how many times it's moved. Every time you copy a file, it's technically degrading it a little bit every time. So like, which is why you on the internet you'll see like, you know, GIFs and JPEGs that are like super low resolution. It's because they've been copy and pasted so many times that they become unusable,
unrecognizable. Yeah.
The same thing happens to any digital file, music included, and usually there's a limit. So like when you record things, like for example, this is a great example, is we record 3 of our audio streams. Each of those audio streams is about a gig when we're done with our recording. When I render out all 3 together into one file and at the bitrate we release it to, it's about 83 to 100 megabytes. So what the audience is hearing is technically not, you know, FLAC studio quality what we record at. And that's, you know, just a limitation of hardware nowadays. You can't put out a gig per episode.
Yeah, that would just be crazy to put on. Right. Yeah.
Now, the same thing happens when you record music at a music studio. They record the music at the highest fidelity they can possibly record at, and then they have to distribute it in a way that people can hear, that you know, people can support and infrastructure can support. A vinyl is that studio quality directly on the disc.
Okay.
So you're getting a higher quality to start. Records will eventually degrade over time because the more you play them, the more the grooves smooth out, but it takes longer, and you're getting a better quality initially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing about vinyl is that it's in as Sean, I think you mentioned this earlier, it's an analog format versus digital. Analog, obviously, you know, waves, which is how you know sound. So it's more accurate to how sound is transferred, right? Because, you know, in the old days, it was literally they had a big old. It was the phonograph, I think, the Edison phonograph, where it's literally like a big old mic that puts sound in to push onto the needle to then hammer it into that, right? And then you just play that backwards to then actually have the sound, or not play it again. Just play it normally to play the sound. So it's literally the true like it's the true audio versus a digital rendering of whatever that audio
I don't know
is.
how they record vinyls nowadays, because I imagine it's digitally, because you have to record the file and then you create the record. You have to put that recording into, like, etch it into a gold record, which then stamps everything else. But I don't know how they transfer that. I know before it wasn't digital, it was analog. So the musician would play the song and that would get inscribed like onto on the gold record as it's happening. And then that's used to produce all the records. Nowadays, I imagine there's some digital processing in between. So I don't know, but
yeah, that's interesting.
But you're still getting a higher FLAC quality or higher original quality as a base to start.
Yeah, I would think that digital input would actually have exceeded the analog variant, just because I would think the tolerances on like whatever sound input to digital would have gotten better than the analog ways, but maybe not. I have no knowledge of that stuff.
I mean, I'm guessing it could be, but at the same time, there's a limit to what you can process as a human ear, you know?
Yeah. That's interesting.
You could have a sound file that's like 3 gigs, you know, for
3 gigs,
you know,
but like,
30 minutes.
What are you really getting from that?
But you're not getting anything extra out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's also an argument to like the whole kind of, you know, it's kind of like it's the true audio, right? It's not, it hasn't been modified by any digital stuff, which obviously now probably happens because of,
but it's less times. Yeah, I think nowadays it's like and that's what appeals to me is like this has been interfered with less, so therefore it is truer.
Yeah, it's like it's like sound to record. There's no extra stuff. It's sound to record. Nowadays, you're right. There's probably some digital stuff going on between. Yeah. So,
but it's not as much as being like every time, like you're listening to something on Spotify, let's say, or Apple Music. Every time that I choose to play the file, it references that original file. And I imagine what it does is it pulls it into like a temporary folder, copying it. So I don't know how best to describe that. It's kind of like Steins Gate, you know, like the further you are away from the original timeline, it gets crazier and crazier. Whereas if you're referencing something that's only one away, then it's still better. So that's probably what most Spotify things do. But if they ever have to copy that file somewhere else, that's then another jump. And then everything, what everyone's listening to is one off of that. So it degrades over time.
Interesting. The way of audio.
It fascinates me, that's why I really I've learning about audio, because it's and digital stuff like that where stuff degrades over time.
Mm-hmm. That's the weird thing is like I didn't know copying a file then repasting it made it worse. I thought you could copy and paste it indefinitely. It's just bytes. But
no, it will degrade. Like you can look up a test. Like you can take a JPEG, a regular picture, and you can run get an application that'll copy and paste it over and over again, like and you can visibly see it deteriorate quickly.
That's so weird.
I think I want to say it's like 1,000, maybe a couple thousand times before it starts just being like not good anymore.
Like blurs, yeah. That makes sense with like because I know some YouTubers did a test where they would repost videos, and that makes sense because like YouTube has compression or whatever.
Well, JPEG has compression too.
Yeah, JPEG is a lossy format.
Is a lossy
It's
format.
lossless and lossy.
Yeah. So it is kind of the same thing as like reposting a video, taking the video from YouTube, then processing it, reposting it. Okay.
Which is why from an early age I started shooting everything in RAW. Which is just
so that's why RAW
everything.
stuff is
and that's
really
why you
important.
have a multi-terabyte NAS
storage array. Because I want everything at the highest quality possible, just to because I hate that quality loss.
Mm-hmm.
What like kind of what got you into that, or is it just something that from you've always been that way?
I don't know. I don't know. I got into photography, and then I always wanted high resolution. And as a kid, you don't have money, so you can't buy the latest and greatest. But you can still shoot in RAW, even with consumer, prosumer cameras. So I thought, well, I might as well do that because it gets me more quality. And then as time went on, I just stuck with it, and that mindset kind of trickled into everything.
It trickled into all your other stuff. Yeah. Very particular.
Yeah.
It's why I like to buy my books. I'll buy ebooks, on a Kindle and stuff, but eventually I want to buy the actual book, and I'll
well, there's nothing like a true print book. True print book.
Yeah. A new true print book.
Yep.
True pages and true books are very
very good. Yes.
Do you remember back in college? I know I don't really do ebooks too much. I have a couple, but I know back in college we had all those ebooks, and you're like, fine. I hate lugging it around, but I would love to have a physical copy, so if I need to actually study for this, most of the time you'd be like, I gotta hop on this ebook and look at it, and it's usually terrible.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
I never liked it on the computer screen because I hate reading a
text,
book on a computer screen. Because that's why I got a Kindle, because it's doesn't emit light. It's just as close as you can get to an actual book.
Yeah, it's the e-ink,
saves
right?
the eyes.
E-ink, yeah. But reading the PDFs online were so annoying.
Oh, yeah. Gosh,
the PDFs, when you have to do a textbook online, that's the worst.
Yeah, I can't. Or reading documentation online. It's I just want to.
Oh yeah, that's terrible. There's something nice about physical media. I think that applies to music, to books. I mean, I still like my video games physical, not digital. I like all that stuff.
Well, it's the same thing as owning it. Now, I go full
I
digital
do full
with
digital on download
video games. Yeah,
same. That's the only thing. Everything else I love to have physical.
I love my game, that new game case. You open it smells like a new game.
There's something about that, but for me, it's an organizational thing of I have all it. Obviously, Steam.
I only have so much space.
Exactly. Yeah.
PCs, now that I've gotten to PC gaming, there's no disk drive on it, so I'm kind of effed there. But
yeah, back in console,
I agree. Yeah. For a lot of my classes, I got real books because it's just so much better to flip through a real book, even though you have control find on the computer.
Well, that's why I think I was talking earlier. I don't know if it was during our technical difficulties or not, but I think we're we're in the wave where things are coming back to being more physical, and
it's like cool
people want to buy their music again, and they want to buy their books. Like they don't want to just have everything be digital. I think that's slowly becoming a thing.
Mm-hmm. I hope so.
Or like movies, for example. I mean, like you could see a movie and then just completely forget about it if you don't own the thing.
Yeah. It gets lost in your library. If there's something cool about going through your bookshelf of DVDs, and then you realize, oh yeah, there's a whatever, I don't know, Step Brothers 2.
Here's a question.
Let's watch that.
Have you guys been back to the theater since the whole start of everything?
Oh yeah.
I've definitely been back a couple times.
Several times.
Yeah.
I have not.
No?
Really?
Nope.
Well, wait, Mike, you said you just went to a bar recently, right?
Is that like a bar? Why?
Not the first time. I've been, but like it's been like 2 months since I've been to a bar.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
it was just a long gap.
Why haven't you?
Yeah, it was like 2. Yeah. Shit, I think the last time I was last time was like October, but I mean we did birthday stuff, but
Yep.
Yeah, no. So, but physical movie, like I almost all watch it now on like Netflix or any HBO Max or whatever site I want to go to.
I mean, now that I have a really nice TV, the difference to me is the size and the sound. I still don't have that replicated in my room. So to me, like when the new Buzz Lightyear movie comes out, I'm going to the theater and see it.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
You're hyped for that?
It's gonna be so good. It looks awesome.
I have high hopes for it. I'm not convinced yet, but I was
getting chills listening from the trailer.
Really?
What is so? Are you a fan of like Toy Story in general? Is that why you're really hyped, or you just think it's a cool?
Yeah,
movie?
I would say so. But so part of it's nostalgia, and part of it's just like the cinematic looking shots and the score they were doing for that was stellar. Yeah. Also a pun.
Stellar is
a just
good
so
pun.
Good. I don't know how to best describe it.
It looks a lot better than it should be. Like, I don't know. Like, I never thought Buzz Lightyear would be a thing, but then I was seeing the trailers, and I do think they do look really, really good. I'm like, this looks a higher quality than I was expecting.
I think every Pixar movie I've enjoyed at minimum.
It's a Pixar movie?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. I guess you kind of
They made Toy Story. Of course it's
but I'm like, I thought, I don't know why.
You thought it would just be a different studio.
Maybe it's just due to the animation style. It's like, it's different.
They've been going more realistic as time goes on.
To me, it's kind of bothersome. It's a little almost too realistic where it's got like that uncanny valley aspect to me. Like when I first saw the trailer,
I don't get
I'm a little uncomfortable at all. Yeah.
It's like I can't do it. But no, I hope it does well because that'd be cool. I mean, I don't know. Something I wasn't expecting. If it's really good, I don't know.
Anything that I'm really excited for, I'll go and see. But like, I don't know, Moonfall happened recently. I want to see that. I'm not going to go to the theater. I'm just going to wait till it's out online somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of some other movies that I'm looking forward to coming up.
Dune was a theater-only movie for me. Like, Dune was really good.
Is necessary to see in a
Dune
theater.
I watched it on HBO, and I should actually.
Yeah, you could tell it's like a movie. It's a theater movie
in IMAX. Like, I was watching it full, like the highest tier theater they had. Oof.
I'll probably break my streak and actually go to see the second one whenever it comes out.
Definitely needed.
Batman.
That would be a good theater movie.
Batman's coming out. That's soon too.
I hope that's good. I hope that turns out well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Dude,
I think everyone.
What's his face has been really method. I don't know if there's a movie that came out a couple of years ago, I think. It's called The Lighthouse.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
That was supposed to be really good.
It was weird, just saying. It was
on the 18th, it's going to be in theaters in the US.
Wait, really?
Oh, I need to go see that. Yeah. When is it coming out?
18th of March.
I'll go see it. I'm really one of the only people to see it.
In sub?
I imagine subbed in US theaters.
Okay. I hope it's subbed. I don't want dubbed.
They usually do subbed.
Wait a minute. The Code Geass movie
I'm going to see the new Fantastic Beasts in theater. I really like that movie.
Which one?
What'd you say?
Fantastic Beasts.
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh shit!
Yeah. That's every Marvel movie is a good theater movie. those are good set pieces for
dude.
theater.
Honestly, the best experience. I know we shit on Marvel a little bit a couple podcasts ago, but like the best theater experience I had was Infinity War. Just the energy of that theater when I watched that.
Jurassic World and Thor: Love and Thunder are this year.
Thor: Love and Thunder's this year?
Black Adam is this year. Which looks really good. And I'm in September right now. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
Yeah. Part 1? They're part 2ing that movie?
Apparently.
Huh. That's weird.
Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
What?
Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Avatar 2?
Yeah, Avatar 2 is supposed to be coming out. I forgot about that.
What?
Is this the Avatar 2?
Like the blue guy.
No, it's Cameron,
Avatar the Last Airbender 2.
Oh my god, he's finally having a new one coming out.
It's like 10 years later.
Dude, I wonder if it'll be just as groundbreaking.
And then The Marvels. I don't know what that is, but that's in February of next year.
The Marvels.
Wow, I'm really excited for this year. You can tell, like, they were just waiting to put out movies.
Yeah, like this is the year we'll actually have like a good solid full year of theater experiences, I think.
Yeah. And Exciting. I've never really gone to the theater alone before, but I'm gonna do it at this point because I gotta see these movies in theaters. Oh, man, I'm excited now. That was a lot of hype for me for a very short period of time.
Gotta go listen to some EDM.
I love movies. I really do. Yeah. So
they're pretty cool.
Dang. Well, is that where we want to kind of call it for this podcast?
I think today? Our viewers are. Yeah, I think we're good.
All right. Well, I know we've had a recent influx of viewers. So if that is you, welcome to Almost a Podcast. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're listening. Thanks.
It has been very nice to see some of the increase. So hopefully we still got to go on YouTube. Hopefully we'll get on YouTube.
Eventually, we still have to release on that.
Yeah.
There's some more logistics on that, though.
Yeah, so, definitely. But it's been great. Leave us a subscribe. Give us a like.
Yeah, rate the podcast. That always helps, I'm sure.
Yes.
On whatever platform you listen to. Hopefully you like us. Hopefully that's why you're still listening.
Get her purr into the mic.
Oh, little cat.
My cat is here, and she's on top of me. Penny. Here, I'll try to get her to meow on the mic. Penny, what's up? Meow. Penny. I don't know if you can hear her purring, so but she's literally just comes up to me and hugs me. And I'm like, this is the most.
No.
Oh my gosh.
This does not help. And then she kisses the microphone.
Yeah, she's like rubbing against it. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. This has been Almost a Podcast. One day we will get there.
We'll get there one day. I think we're getting there soon, though. Oh my god. Yeah. The cat.
What is our new logo going to be? When
Peace out, new logo?
Or our
new
old motto?
New catchphrase. Is that going to be?
When we get there?
We got there.